Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneits Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. 2020 is now over and we all know that 2020 was a weird year. 2021 is very close and we all hope that 2021 becomes a new book where we can write our future. We can start from scratch and we can write what we want of ourselves. We can be what we think of being in this life and we can achieve what we are always trying to. With this hope, with this wish, let's begin the January 2021 guidance. What this 2021 January month holds, what are the planetary transits, and ascendant wise, what is the effect of this transit. The start of the year 2021 will see the transit of Mercury out of the sign of Sagittarius to the sign of Capricorn, and Venus will see the freedom from Ketu to the sign of Sagittarius. In the middle of January, Sun will make its move on a day of Makar Sankranti to the sign of Capricorn. Rahu, which is in the nakshatra of Mrigashira, will change its nakshatra to Rohini on 27th of January. This month is one unique month, the month that brings hope, and we are going to discuss in detail about this month. But before that, do not forget to hit like, subscribe and share and hit the bell icon so that you never miss another update. If you want to follow me on social media like Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, the link is in the description box below. For my consultations, you can drop me an email. The email ID is also in the description box below. So let's continue with the January 2021 guidance. Ascendant number 1, Aries Ascendant. For you, Saturn and Jupiter will be majorly transiting the 10th house. And the Rahu and the Ketu are already in the 2nd and the 8th house. In the month of January, you see that the Sun, which is your natural 5th house lord, will go into the 10th house. And Mercury, which is the natural 3rd as well as the 6th lord, will also go into the sign of Capricorn, which is the 10th house, whereas Venus, which is in the 8th house, which is the 7th lord, is going into the 9th house. When we talk about Saturn and Jupiter, we have to understand that Jupiter is going to aspect your 2nd house, 4th house as well as 6th house. For the month of January 21, the most important position of planet is the position of Mars. For you, Mars will be on the 1st house, giving you a lot of courage, a lot of strength and stamina. Along with the position of Saturn and Jupiter, which is in the 10th house, and the presence of Sun and Mercury, one thing is for sure, that January is a month of decisiveness. January is the month of action, and January is the month where you take the stand for yourself and you pick up and you move. That means you are now going into karmic execution. January is also a very good month to decide on a career change, something that has to do with finance, something that has to do with your designation. Yes, because of the conflict of Sun and Saturn, January can be a month where you are confronting your boss, you are confronting the authority, but this is for your own justice. Mars in the 1st house is giving you the necessary boost, the necessary power, self-confidence, the confidence to propel yourself like a rocket, and this is the key recipe for success. Venus transit will happen out of the 8th house to the 9th house in the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is not a friend of Venus, but 9th house is a dharmic sthan. It is the sthan of temples, it is the house of temples, God, religion. Venus is a guru, so in any way that is an abode of guru. So Venus will find some relief in the 9th house. When the 2nd lord goes into the 9th house, that means your money will be spent in traveling. You will be spending money in religious travels, on spiritual activity towards your guru, and that is the ideal scene here. When the 7th lord, which is Libra, goes into the 9th house, this means the dharma of vivah, that means the duty towards marriage will be fulfilled and you will take necessary action And if you are feeling too claustrophobic in your relationship, too claustrophobic in your business, Venus will give the necessary freedom. There won't be a lot of space to flex, but the necessary freedom to breathe properly. Utilize this time to sort out any issues in business or in marriage. Now Venus is out of the 8th house and the 9th house. This means you need to invest your money. Your money should now move. So start shifting and shuffling your finances. Start taking the account of the bank balance that you have and start investing into proper direction. Give proper direction to the funds, give proper efforts to your business, and this will show good financial improvement. Although Venus cannot draw a proper energy because of the fiery nature of Sagittarius and the Jupiterian quality, not only that, Venus is under Pap Kartari between Ketu in the 8th house and Saturn in the 10th house, but this does not mean that Venus will not able to qualify for positivity here. Venus aspect into the 3rd house and Mercury's presence in the 10th house is going to give good option to explore or upgrade your office and build up new atmosphere for your work. And that kind of investment will prove beneficial for you. Rahu and Ketu are in the 2nd and the 8th house. Rahu in the 2nd house is going to make you slightly uncomfortable. Rahu in the 2nd house can make you vulnerable to some attacks on your wealth, attacks on the property. You have to be slightly possessive about your bank balance. You have to be very careful how you are spending your money and where you are investing. It is the right time, but give a thoughtful approach towards your investment. In case of marriage and relationship and business, if there is any conflict, that conflict will be resolved, but you have to resolve within a limit. It will not be that all of your demands will be met, but few will be, and it will be a justified demand, and it will be a justified meeting. So those kind of blockages, if you are having, it will be removed in 2021 January, and this month will give you a lot of positivity. Because 5th house Lord Sun is in the 10th house, this means that you may be questioned for your learning. So this is the time to upgrade. This is the time to show your skill, and this is the time to show what you are capable of. Whether you are a freelancer, whether you are in business, whether you are a photographer, content writer, artist, or whether you are working for government organizations, this is the good time to show your efficiency. And for all people who are working in the government sector, in the government organization, this is a very good time to actually seek a promotion or seek an appreciation. In this time frame, anyone who is willing to work for government, who are trying to crack government examinations, can also see a good improvement in studies and their focus. All you have to do is get up early and start studying at 4 a.m. because that 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. time period in the month of January is going to be the time period of full of energy, and that time period will give you the focus that you need. This is a good tip for students. Because of the Sun-Saturn conjunction along with Jupiter in the 10th house, Aries has to learn how to channelize his energy. Aries has to learn when to give up and when to stand for himself. Aries has to learn that ego is not the solution, but a strategical move is going to be the solution in the month of January. So the pro tip for you is play chess. Playing chess with a partner, with a friend, will not only give you leisure time and enjoyment, but will also give you a sense of strategy. Doesn't matter whether you are a pro player or you have never played chess before, give it a try. Attempt, and this will be a karma, and this will be a one good strategy and planning, you can say, exercise. You can also take up course on any kind of planning and strategy management. That will be an excellent boost in your information, in your career, and in your personality. Ascendant number 2, Taurus Ascendant. You are controlled by Venus. Venus is right now in the sign of Scorpio along with Ketu, and Venus will move out of Scorpio starting January 2021, and it will move to the sign of Sagittarius. That means your Ascendant Lord will go into the 8th house. When your Ascendant Lord goes into the 8th house, it means you have to confront the ups and downs of life. That also means that Venus is going to watch the sign of Gemini. Venus is going to also observe the natural 2nd house. Now what this is going to bring you is your control over your life. Mercury, which is also the second as well as fifth lord, is going into the ninth house. When Mercury, which is the fifth lord and second lord, goes into the ninth house, this gives a lot of improvement in the financial sector. This gives a lot of improvement in the educational sector. Banking and finance will improve if you are connected to that. This also means that your luck and your destiny will also flourish and you will be able to make some real good money in 2021 January. Now Venus movement from the 7th house to the 8th house also marks sudden change in your relationship with your spouse, in your business, and this shows that whatever was blocked will now be spoken. If you are selling a product, if you are a businessman, this is going to be a very good time because Venus in the second house from 7th is going to give great boost in the business as well as in marriage. Marriage related problems will be solved, but remember, Venus is in a fire sign and also in a not so friendly zodiac of Sagittarius. Then in that case, Venus can create jealousy, extramarital affairs. The direction of love can change from love to lust. These are the areas where you have to be careful. So your attention towards your partner, towards your business should be at its best. The loyalty should be at its best. Saturn and Jupiter will be in the ninth house. This is going to give you a lot of learning, a lot of positivity, because now fifth lord is also fifth from itself. There is a Bhavat Bhavam for Mercury. Mercury position along with Venus position gives great deal of sudden burst of finance and sudden movement out of the problem that you are facing. So if you are really deep inside financial issue, if you are really in some sort of a deep medical problem, and if you are thinking that spirituality can help, you should chant Gajendra Moksh. By chanting Gajendra Moksh and praying to Lord Vishnu, by asking for help, the help will come. And remember, Venus has the power to resurrect a person from the death. Venus has the Mrit Sanjeevani mantra, and Venus is also Shukracharya. So that is going to give you a new lease of life. So the dimension will change, the dimension of love, the dimension of business. Your personality is going to go for a transformation. You should focus on your looks, you should focus on how you present, because Rahu in the first house is already making you conscious about yourself. When in the 8th house, this means unexplored areas, the areas which you did not want to go, but now you have to. So you may have to go into the zone where you never wanted to. You may have to deal with your in-laws. You may have to deal with situations related to inheritance, taxation and insurance. Keep that area free from clutter. Keep that area free from any kind of not so legal activity. When you are taking care of all these things, you will see that the position of Mercury and Venus combined in 2021 January, at least for 15-20 days, is going to give you the best possible results. Coming to career and finance. For career, the 10th lord is Saturn, and that lord is with the 11th lord Jupiter in the 9th house. So definitely career is going to improve. What you should do is you should bring more books in your home, visit a library and read as much as you can. Especially if you are in a job where you're learning a language, a new language can give you that extra skill, that extra niche, you should try for that. Mercury presence in a sign of Capricorn, which is a karmic sign, shows that communication skills has to be improved. So you need to improve your personality through communication skills. With the presence of Mercury, which is also the second lord, which shows that your money will be invested in a good way, your money will be invested in education. This shows that you can invest your money to upgrade your skill by taking up some course, be it a professional course or be a course for leisure. There's also a very good time for students, and you have to use your words very carefully. Because when your ascendant lord is in 8th house, now you know the secret, and it aspects the second house, it can communicate the secret. So when you know secret, keep it with yourself and don't use it for wrong measures. But overall for Taurus zodiac sign, Taurus ascendant, this is going to be a month of huge and positive transformation that you should look out for. Not only that, the 4th Lord Sun is also going into the 9th house. That means in the middle of January, the Sun transit in Capricorn is going to be a huge push for you, a huge push if you want to buy a new home, if you want to upgrade a property, if you want to renovate your home, if you want to change the look and style. This is also where you may slightly feel not so comfortable in the situation at work, not so comfortable in the situation at the home, and you have to take care of that. What you should do is you should carefully plan out and only then execute. Also, 9th house presence of Sun means the king is now going out of his home and is going to follow his dharma. So you will be asked to execute your duty. Perform your duty the way it should be performed, whether you like or you don't like. Because sometimes the planet is asking you to do something first before you get something. So do all the good things in the month of January and all the good things will happen to you. Ascendant number 3, Gemini. The Ascendant Lord Mercury at the beginning of the month will move into the 8th house. It will join Saturn and Jupiter there. Now that's a practical experience. This also means that you will have to face some scenarios in life that you really were scared of, and this is the time where you face your fear. So plan. If you are feeling negative about something, if you are feeling something can happen, if your gut feeling or intuition is saying that something can go wrong, you should make the necessary plan to mitigate those fears. That may not really happen in reality, but because you are feeling at this point of time, you should plan for it. Also, the 4th Lord is in the 8th house, which means that your comfort zone is in the 8th house. So to be comfortable, you need to change something. You have to learn something. Good time to read books. Good time to bring books at your home and study more and more, especially the scriptures. This is also the time when you can renovate your home. This is also the time when you can look out for some, making one area of your home a library kind of area where you can simply sit back, relax with a cup of coffee and enjoy your book. 8th house is the house of sudden changes. 8th house is also the house of in-laws. So when Mercury goes into that house, you may have to fulfill your responsibility towards your in-laws. You may have to fulfill your responsibility towards your ancestors. It is also the house of investment, taxation. So your money has to be regulated there. You need to correct your taxes. You need to correct the insurance. Take the necessary insurance if you don't have, and try to protect yourself from all possible area. So coming to protection, Ganesh Kavach is going to be a very good remedy for the month of January. So you should chant the Ganesh Kavach to pray to Lord Ganesha and seek protection, the divine protection from him. Also, in the middle of 2021 January, Sun, which is the 3rd Lord, will go into the 8th house. So when the 1st Lord and 3rd Lord are going into the 8th house, along with when the 9th Lord is already there, you should be careful about the journey that you take. Because in journey there can be some losses, some disputes. Now this also means that you can feel about spending money in some sort of say cryptocurrency, some sort of share market. Any kind of speculative investment should be done with a lot of precaution and if possible avoided in this particular month. The 5th Lord, Venus, will go out of Ketu. From the 6th house will go in the 7th house. Good for romantic relationship, good for building partnership, good for finding a partner. So this is the good time to change your identity. So this also means that you may meet your life partner at this particular month if you give enough attempt. This also means that the way you approach marriage will also change. The love will improve, the relationship will improve because you will fulfill your duty. This is also the month where you will realize where you are lacking, what duty you must fulfill, and where should you mark your presence. That information once conveyed to you by the planets, you should fulfill that responsibility you have not been fulfilling so far. With Mercury in the 8th house, with Venus aspecting the Ascendant, with Sun, which is the 3rd Lord, going into the 8th house, it shows that you would want to go on a leisure trip. You would want to go at a place like a resort or any place where you feel good. You should do that, but considering the scenario, you should be very, very cautious. Too many planets in 8th house is not good for health. Health is one area where you have to show great concern. Because of too many aggregation of planet in the 7th and 8th house, it can be dangerous for you to ignore the situation that is happening right now, ignore your health, try to give enough attention to it. And if you are practicing yoga, eating green food, eating vegan food, going completely vegetarian, this is going to be a very positive month for you. While Rahu is in the 12th house and Ketu is in the 6th house, this means that your expenses might increase in the month of January. So be careful while spending lavishly and don't buy unnecessary products in this particular month. Also, it can unsettle you a bit because Venus will be in the 7th house. So what this can do is you can spend lavishly for your partner. So it's not bad to spend, but then you have to understand that there has to be a limit of everything. Gifting is okay. Over of anything, excess of anything is bad, not only for health but also for relationship. Be careful for any trap. Be careful for any psychological manipulation in this particular month, and you will be safe and feeling happy. If you are feeling slightly unsettled, just go to a Ganesh temple, bow down in front of the Ganesha and bless and ask for blessings and chant Vakratund Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. May Ganesha bless you. Ascendant number 4, Cancer Ascendant. In case of Cancer Ascendant, Mercury rules your 12th house and 3rd house. That Mercury goes into the 7th house, which means that it combines with Saturn and Jupiter, and now it aspects your Ascendant. This means that you will get some communication, some learned communication and information from an unexpected source while you travel, while you move. So this also means that you should go and explore places, meet people of some certain knowledge, people of professional expertise of your career, and this will give you great advice. Mercury's presence in the 7th house also ensures that your communication with your spouse will be much more prominent now, and this is going to improve the relationship. This also means that any kind of suggestion coming from your spouse is of valuable importance. You need to give it enough thought if you are getting any kind of suggestion that is coming from your life partner, that is also coming from your business partner. Venus, on the other hand, rules your 11th house and 4th house. Both are the house of property and finance, income, gains, and it goes out of the sign of Scorpio from the 5th to the sign of Sagittarius in the 6th. This means that your money has to be now expended in prarabdha. The 4th Lord goes into the 6th, the 11th Lord goes into the 6th. Whatever you are earning, whatever you have with you should be now, at least a small portion should be given for service of mankind. 6th house is the house of service, but 6th house is also the house of disputes. So you have to be careful that there should not be any dispute at the position where you live, at the home where you live, at the place where you earn money, the way you earn money. So you have to be slightly careful about this position, but it's not all bad. When Venus goes into the 6th house, and if you have any enemies, that enemy will come right in front of you, and you will be able to fight that enemy. You will be able to come out of the position. What you have to do is chant Mahishasur Mardini Stotra. The Durga energy, the Ma Durga energy, the Shakti is going to give you the necessary power to come out of any kind of situation, especially if you are under certain kind of debt. This is the good time to get rid of debts. This is the good time to maybe move and create a new source of income, or think about a new source of income that will help you get rid of the debt. This is also the good time when you create one source of income, like you keep it aside and you think, okay, I'm going to keep this source of income, and whatever income I get, whatever profit I get, I'm going to clear off the loans, I'm going to clear off the credit card. Also, this also shows transformation of your career, transformation of your role. That means if you want to do an in-organization, intra-organization change, if you want to create some sort of hierarchy change in your career, if you want to start something like a social networking business or maybe a blockchain business, that kind of attempt will become fruitful in this month of January. Plan that and execute. But planning is very important, and suggestion of a learned person, I will repeat, is very important in this particular month. The second Lord, Sun, goes into the 7th house. Again, it's a good time to start something, start a business, move to a new location, change something about you, because 2nd house is also called as the family. 2nd house is also called as bank balance. When it goes into the 7th house, this means your family is improving. That means you can initiate marriage at this time, you can find a life partner, and you also can have an expansion of your own family. Which also means that if there are fights in the family, those fights will come to a justice, those fights will come to a peaceful end. And you may live happily and the family might not break. So you should try your best attempt and remove the ego. 2nd house is also house of words. When Sun rules the 2nd house, the voice becomes very lion type. Voice becomes very powerful. But your ascendant is emotional. So you are always talking powerful about your emotions. But when it goes into the 7th house, you have to keep a track of the moon throughout the month. Because wherever moon will go, in whatever zodiac sign moon will go, according to that your ascendant will behave differently each passing day. But overall, if you keep checking your ego, if you keep check at what you are speaking, and you are not unnecessarily giving advice to other people, you are not unnecessarily showing dominance, you are not unnecessarily showing ego, things will be pretty good for you. The month of January 2021 is a month of opportunity, is a month of role change, is a month of taking responsibility, is a month of revival. I hope this month gives the best to you. The best possible advice in this particular time will be praying to the sun god, praying to Surya, and chant Gayatri mantra as much as possible, or chant Aditya Hriday Stotra. Also, you can go into the Sharad of Shri Krishna and just chant Jai Shri Krishna. That will give you the peace and love. Ascendant number 5, Leo Ascendant. In case of Leo Ascendant, the most important thing that will happen is your Ascendant Lord and the 11th Lord and the 2nd Lord all are going to get combined in the sign of Capricorn along with Saturn and Jupiter. Your Ascendant Lord is Sun and your 11th Lord is Mercury. Both are going to get combined on 14th of January. Because the first Lord is in the 6th house, this means, and that to its Sun, it means that you are here to solve the disputes of life. Your personal involvement towards Prarabdha will open up. So there are few things that will happen in the month of January that is not under your control. Because it's a direct connection with the 6th house, you have to be slightly careful about the decisions that you will make. Although the presence of Saturn and Jupiter will create a scenario where the victory will be yours, but then 6th house is the house of obstacles and enemies. It is also the house of disease. And you may experience learning through circumstances that are unfavorable in January 2021. But will this be a completely disastrous time? No, this is a time for learning. Also, if you observe that because the 1st, 2nd and the 11th Lord is in the 6th house, this means if you regulate all these things, if you encounter what is negative about your life, if you encounter and if you filter people in your life, this is going to be a dramatically positive time for you. Good time to start something, good time to clear off the debt, good time to cut off the negativity from your life. This is the good time to realize your potential and maybe list down all the do's and don'ts and list down all the positive and the negative, the strength and the weakness, and work on the negative side, not to be pessimistic, but being optimistic, being regulated and following the discipline. Because discipline is going to be the key factor for your success. Venus rules your 10th house, Venus rules your 3rd house, and this is going in your 5th house. So when the 3rd house goes into the 5th house, it is the Bhavad Bhavam of the 3rd house, as well as the 10th house Lord goes 8th from itself, goes into the sign of Sagittarius early in the month. By this change of Venus, this shows great opportunities in career. This also shows that because of some obstacle, you may create necessary changes in your career, in your profession, in your field of work, in your business, and you will try to upgrade and upskill yourself. And this is the positive way. Learning from the opportunities head on, being very alert about the situation, and the moment the situation comes, you are taking a stand for it. You are trying to correct it as soon as the negativity comes in front of you. Because Sun is in the 6th house, the light goes into the 6th house, the king fights the battle, and the king will never lose. You won't lose, but definitely you will have some experience in this time. When you are talking about starting a new business at this time, you can, but then you have to be careful about anything that can go negative. If you're planning for marriage at this point of time, you can, but then you have to be slightly careful because your 7th lord is in the 6th house. When your 1st lord and 7th lord both goes into the 6th house, there can be a fight or a ego clash or a clash of opinion with your life partner, with your business partner, so you have to be careful on that front. From the finance perspective, it is going to be okay, it's going to be good. Your money can be some part of the money has to be done for charity, otherwise that part of the money can go waste. It will be an unnecessary expense. So it's better to take out a certain sum of money from your savings, from your income, and put it to good use, put it to good purpose. In this time frame, in the month of January, you should chant Vishnu Sahasranam. By chanting Vishnu Sahasranam, you will see a very positive outcome, a very positive result, and you will realize that the strength that you carry can outgrow any trouble that you will face in this month. 6th house being the house of subordinates. So those of you who are working in a public media company, in a journalism where you have to deal with a lot of people, if you have a lot of labors working for you, if you are such a big entrepreneur, these are the areas where you have to be slightly careful and you have to deal with caution. You have to take care of those people. You have to take care of people who work for you, because if you don't, you may lose their employment and you will be in a situation where you will have to do things all alone, and that can prove to be detrimental to your career. Rahu presence in the 10th house and the Ketu's presence in 4th house, while Venus goes out, will give slight relief, but then the search and the quest to find a comfort zone continues, and the comfort zone is not where the tree of success grows, and you know that very well. So take the problem head on and be successful in the month of January, because January is the month to fight and win. This is the month to be victorious. Ascendant number 6, Virgo Ascendant. In case of Virgo Ascendant, your 1st lord and your 10th lord, Mercury, goes into the 5th house. It joins 5th lord and 6th lord. So definitely 1st, 6th and 10th combines, which defines that you have to fulfill your duties towards your children, towards your productivity, people who are responsible, for whom you are responsible, and people who are dependent on you. This also means that the productivity of your life will increase, and you have to learn how to channelize the energy properly. Once you start channelizing the energy, once you start focusing, you will see that not only the focus will improve, but also the performance and efficiency of your work and efficiency of your energy, your body, your mind, everything will see an upward trend. Venus rules your 2nd house and 9th house. 2nd house is Libra, 9th house is Taurus. That Venus will move in the 4th house in the sign of Sagittarius. This Venus will go out of the house of Scorpio, will go out from the clutches of Ketu, and now will be in 4th house, kind of in a very happy position. This also means that you would love to be in a leisure environment, you would love to be in a sweet and fancy ambience, and you would find pleasure at being in that situation. So this means you should go for a leisure trip at a resort, maybe near a lake, being in the nature. So that kind of energy is going to also cause some sort of expense and also travel. So you have to be slightly careful about the efficiency of your finances. And also you have to take care of your health at this point of time, because the 12th lord, which is Sun, is also going on the 5th house. So definitely this also means that for the distance learning program can become a success at this point of time, and also your plans to travel abroad for education can also find some much necessary push in this month of January. One more thing that you will see is that the presence of Rahu in the 9th house is definitely going to give you a great boost towards change of location. If you're looking for a change of location with respect to your career, if you're looking for a change of home with respect to your career, if you're looking for some major shift in your home area, if you're looking for renovation of your home, if you're looking to buy a new property, if you're looking to buy a new car, those expectations can be fulfilled, or at least some push, some positivity will come that will move you one step closer to achieving your dreams. Virgo is a natural sixth house. Your sixth lord is Saturn, and Saturn is in the fifth house, and your ascendant lord goes into the fifth house. So this is one area where your prarabdha and the natural prarabdha coincides and meets the learning. So that means there will be few circumstances in the month of January that you will feel that you are stuck. You cannot move ahead. That time you have to apply all your experience, all your learning, and that will help you get overcome the situations of life, the problems of life, and you will learn that by applying the knowledge that you have practically in the real life scenario is the only way out. So get rid of the fear, get rid of any kind of hurdle, mental blockages, and try to move ahead. The Sun, Mercury, Saturn and Jupiter conjunction in the fifth house is definitely going to be very good for your finances, and this will also transform the way you earn money. Good time to upgrade your skill, good time to improve the knowledge that you carry. If you are in any kind of sector which deals with education, it will be a great improvement for you. You can expect promotion, you can expect growth, you can expect some fast track success. In case of business also, because fifth house is called 11th from the seventh house, and definitely seventh house lord is Jupiter, which is in the fifth house along with the first lord Mercury. This is going to be a wholesome experience for you. So Virgo will have a mixed month of January. This will be a kind of a month that will give you a lot of experience that you can utilize in the future. Plus, it's also a month when you can apply the previous experience that you have carried for so many years. This shapes your personality to a new dimension. This gives you a new zone of promotion, new zone of success, and make the best use of this energy. So that was the analysis for all ascendants for the month of January 2021. This is a guidance, and I hope this guidance helps you, and I wish you the very, very best, happy and prosperous 2021, and I wish all the success and the wisdom, not only to you, but also to your family members. Thank you for watching Punneit's Astrology. This is your host Punneit. Till then, Namaste.